Hello guys, good day everyone. This is the Creators Lodge and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please do well to like, do well to subscribe and turn on the notification button so that when next I drop a YouTube video like this, YouTube will notify you. Alright, so guys, in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create an invitation design like this. All right, so this is a SendForth invitation. You are invited to a SendForth ceremony. So this is like a SendForth ceremony, and this is an invitation design, all right, for that course. All right guys, so this design is quite straightforward. All right, there is no much thing to explain here. When you look at this design, you're going to see that all the colors are working together. All right, now the color on the clothes of the man is the blue color, and so I try to ensure that I have blue on the design. But when you look at the blue on the cloth and when you look at the blue on the design, you're going to see that the blue on the cloth is kind of light, more like sky blue, right? And then the blue of the background, the design, is more like a royal blue. So can you see that now? Two contrast, the contrast color working together, light blue and the dark blue. Remember, in one of my tutorials I said that when you want to make use of font, you want to use a font on if you want to color a font on a background, if you are using a dark contrast background, you should use a light contrast font so that the font is going to come out. You should use a light contrast color for the font so that the font or your text is going to come out, going to be visible. You don't want to use a dark contrast background and then you are using a dark contrast color for your font or for your text. All right, so the same goes for this design. You're going to see that the font, everything works well with this design. All right, you can see the white blending well. You can see more like the cream color. All right, I used for the you are invited to, and then the ceremony of, that's like a cream color. All right, and then you can see it's going well. All right, now if you want to get how I got that color, all right, this color I'm using for ceremony of and you're invited to the, all right, so you can see a little bit of the color on the face of the man. So when you come to this place, you are going to see you can pick your color from this place. All right, but when you pick your color from this place, make sure you kind of reduce the thickness of the color, because when you pick it from here, it's going to be quite thick. So I had to reduce the thickness of the color so that I can have a color like this, something like this cream color here. All right guys, so that is that about the tutorial. You can look at this, you can see that the alignment is okay. You can see the alignment on the left, you can see that it's blending well, and then you can see the alignment on the right. So these are the major things you need to understand. All right, so the image is taking this part here and then the text is taking this part here. Now another designer can decide to do something different, can decide that he wants the image to stay in the middle like this. He wants the image to stay in the middle like this, and then he wants the text to stay somewhere here. That is fine if you know how to work your way around it, but if you don't know how to work your way around it, stay with what works for you. All right guys, so that is all about the explanation of this design. So let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to bring in my background, which is this. All right, and then the second thing I'm going to do is going to make this layer visible. All right, so for those that have the designers package, all right, you have this you have this I'm going to call it image. Yeah, you have this image, all right, in the designers package. All right, so this is more like I erased, this is more like a background, but I erased the background. I just want this shining part of the background to be visible on my design. So that's just what I did. All right, so if you have the designers package, check it out. You are going to find this image there, and also this background, you are going to find it in the designers package. All right, so I'm going to copy again this shape. I'm going to copy again. I'm going to just rotate this way. I'm going to check out the original so that I can get the accurate rotation. All right, so I'm going to rotate this way here, and then I just place it here. Can you see this, guys? Can you see this, guys? I'm going to rotate this way, but I'm going to rotate this way. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, cool. Exactly, something like this. And then I'm going to lock this layer. All right, I'm going to copy again and rotate the third one. All right, I'm going to rotate this way like this. All right, so you have something like this. Let's see if we have this. Okay, let's see this. So let's make this layer invisible and see. So we have something like this, but I'm going to still rotate this. All right, I'm going to rotate this here. I'm going to rotate it a little bit like this. Let's see. Okay, like this. I'm going to move up a little bit. All right, let's see this. Yeah, so let's place it this way. So you have something like this, guys. So you have something like this, and then we already achieved our background. Now I'm going to, this is the image. All right, you can see the image, guys. I'm not going to be sharing this particular image. All right, so this is the image. All right, so this is the image I used. I can copy the image so that you guys can see. So this is the image, so you just place it somewhere here. All right, and then I'm placing it behind. When you look at my layer, you're going to see that this is the image. The image is behind this backgrounds. I'm going to highlight the backgrounds now. All right, the image itself has like a kind of shadow. This is the image. All right, this is the image itself, has like kind of shadow. So placing it behind the background makes it looks placing it on top of the image, sorry. All right, placing it on top of this picture makes it looks like the picture is blending to the background. Look at this, guys. When you look at this place, you're going to see it like the picture is blending to the background, but it is the the remnants of the blending of these two image here, these two backgrounds here. All right, these two backgrounds here. That's what is reflecting on the image on this picture, making it look like the picture is blending to the background. All right, so I'm just going to erase softly a little bit here because I'm having a little sharp edge. So I'm going to click on my eraser tool, and okay, let me go back and see what I want to erase. Do I need to erase? Okay, let me click on the eraser. Let me click on the eraser and see if it will be if it will work out. Let's click on it and see. Okay, great. So I've erased it. So I'm going to just lock the layer of the picture. Now the next thing I want to do is to create my meter rule like this, and then I begin to input my text. Now the first text we are writing is the SendForth text, all right, which is this. So I'm going to just make it like this. Should we use all capital? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to change the color to white. All right, so you don't need to fight for what color to use here. All right, by understanding, you should just make use of white. All right, you don't want to use black on this, it's not going to be visible. Okay, you don't want to use black on this. All right, now I'm going to change the font. All right, the font I used for this, you can find it in the designers package if you have. All right, the big shoulder font. So I'm going to pick it, big shoulder, display bold. I'm going to click OK. If you have the designers package, you'll find it there. Now I'm going to reduce the line spacing. The spacing between the send and the forth is too much, so I'm going to reduce the line spacing this way. I'm going to do it this way, and I'll just place it somewhere here like this. All right, I'm going to increase again, increase until you have something like this. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we have something like this. Now I'm going to close up my spacing in between. Yeah, something like this. I'm going to close up here, and then I'm going to close up the line spacing again. It's too much. Yeah, exactly. So you have something like this, guys. So look at this. You have something like this. All right, so you have something like this. I'm going to move this here this way. All right, just move this here this way like this. Yeah, now let's check out the original and see what we've done. All right, let's check out the original. All right, so you can see these are SendForth. You can see these are SendForth. So let's place it here. All right, now the next thing I want to do is I want to when you look at this SendForth, at this place here, there should be like an hyphen, all right, showing you that this send and this forth is together. All right, so when you check the spelling of SendForth, it's one word, it's together. So I have to create an hyphen, all right. But when I do that, trying to do that using this this method is not giving me exactly what I want. Can you see the space in between the hyphen and the send is too much? So alternatively, what I would do is to create a rectangle shape. All right, so I'm going to create a rectangle shape. Trying to adjust this well. All right, so trying to adjust this well. I'm coming. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to create a rectangle shape like this and reduce the size this way, reduce this way, reduce this way, bring it here this way. All right, just take it here like this, reduce this way like this, reduce like this. Great. Great. Let it not be too thick. That's the weight. Let the weight not be too thick, but you just reduce until you get your perfect measurement. And if it's not, perfect, you work on to perfection. All right. Like for instance, now it's not yet perfect, so I still need to work on this. All right. So I'm going to click on the rectangle again. It's kind of big. Yeah. So I'll just reduce the size this way. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, so I think this is cool. And then I'm going to move down this way. Make sure that the rectangle is in the middle of your send. So I'm going to place this meter rule on my send and ensure that the rectangle is in the middle of my send. So I'm going to move the rectangle and ensure, yeah, so you have this perfect, stuff, yeah. And then you have something like this. Can you see this, guys? Can you see this, guys? All right, but now we're still going to reduce the size of the rectangle because the rectangle is not aligning with the letter H of our font. Can you see that? The letter H, can you see the rectangle is out? So I'm going to click on the rectangle again, reduce the size this way. Yeah, once you are done reducing the size, to alignment, you ensure that it's in the middle of the send again. Yeah, bring it. I'm going to take it down by 1. Yeah, and then you have something like this. Good. Now we are cool to go. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a shadow to the SendForth, but I'm going to make sure the shadow is not thick. All right, so adding shadow to this just helps it to just helps to give it more beauty. All right, so I'm going to click on shadow, but this shadow is too thick, so I'm going to offset my X a little bit, offset my Y a little bit, and then I'm going to increase my blur a little bit. And then I'm going to click on the addition icon here. Click on the addition icon. I want to reduce the opacity of the shadow. I've taught you guys how to reduce the opacity of the shadow. You keep reducing until you get the final feel for you, and I love this. So I'm going to stay with this. I'm cool with this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to write the "you are invited to the." All right, you are invited to the. So I'm going to just write "you are invited to the." All right, so you have this, and then you change the color. Remember, this color we're using, the cream color. So I'm going to change it to this, and I'm going to change this text to Montserrat. All right, Montserrat medium. That's what I'm using. I'm going to make it Montserrat medium. I'm going to place it here and make sure it does not leave. Now let me lock the layers for this here. So I'm going to place it here. Make sure that it does not come out of our margin. Remember, guys, our margin is very important in this design. All right, so you can see this, you are invited to the, and then you have SendForth. Now I'm going to copy the you are invited to the, and I'm going to change it to ceremony off. All right, ceremony off. All right, so we have this. Yeah, we have this, and I'm going to pick my text, my font, sorry. All right, make use of the gracias. You can find it in the designer's package, gracias. So this is the font I'm making use of. Now I'm just going to bring up my original so that I can place that font well. Okay, so let's place it this way. Yeah, we have something like this. Let's check out the original. Yep. Okay, so we have something like this. I'm going to just make sure it's aligned on the left and on the right, and then we increase this size this way like this. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we have ceremony off. Now I'm going to add shadow to this ceremony off. Remember, shadow here is just also to give it beauty and to make the ceremony off stand out. The text, all right, to make it stand out. That's the reason why I'm putting a shadow here. And you can decide not to put a shadow. You can decide to just move out the shadow. So whichever one you want, you can do. All right, so I'm going to move this ceremony off up a little bit. All right, up a little bit like this. All right, now the next thing I want to do is to add my text, to start writing my text. So I'm saying elder/author. So I'm going to write the elder/author. So I'm going to click on text. I'm going to write that. All right, Okay, so we have this. I'm going to check if it's all cap. Yeah, so it's all caps. So I'm going to click on all caps, and then I'm going to change this font to Montserrat Medium, and then you click OK, and then you have something like this. You place it here. Now we're going to import a kind of icon. All right, this icon where I wrote the the name. All right, I'm going to be importing the icon right about now. Alright guys, so this is the icon. I'm going to mark this and I have something like this. Can you see this guys? So this is a full icon. Alright, I only erased this part. Alright, I erased this part that looks kind of transparent, blending to the background. I erased it in Pixellab application. So I would likely either you might likely get this this icon with the one that is not erased or the one that is erased. So whichever one, if I include in the Google Drive the one that is not erased, you can always do that in the Pixellab application. All right, so I'm going to place this icon here. All right, and then I'm going to work on the hue. I'm going to work on the hue. Remember, we're working with blue guys, so we have to ensure that whatever we are doing is the blue color. All right, so I'm going to work on the hue and ensure I get a blue color. Okay, so all I need to do, I'm going to work on my saturation. Should I see the brightness? Okay, so I have this. All right, so I'm going to mark this and I'm going to take this to back, just take it to back of the image. Should it be to back? I don't think. Should it be to back? Let's bring it to front and see. Let's bring it to front. Here I should be in the front, not behind. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this way, place it here. Let me check out the original. I think I stretched the icon. I want to check it out if I stretched the icon. All right, so let's place the author at the top. I'm going to move the author here, place it here, and then we change the color of the author to black. All right, so change it to black. Now click on the style, click on bold, and click on the letter B. All right, so I want the elder and author to be in bold form. So I'm going to lock this layer so it doesn't move. We have something like this. Now we're going to move these ones up. All right, we're going to move this these writings up because we want space. All right, we want space. We want to have space the bottom here. Okay, so I'm going to move this up. All right, so I'm going to move the ceremony up also. Yeah, okay, bring this to front so you have something like this. I'm going to bring this down. All right, let's bring this down and see. Yeah, okay, so let's bring down the author / elder. Okay, and then I'm going to copy and then I'm going to write the name. All right, so we're going to put in the name, which is yeah, okay, so let's write okay, so this is the name, all caps log. All right, and then I'm going to change the font. I made use of the same Big Shoulder font, so you're going to click on Big Shoulder and then you have something like this. Can you see this guys? You have something like this, so you place it here. Yeah, so we just place the elders / author here and then we're good to go. Now let's check out the original, and the next thing we just want to do is to write the details. So I'm going to write this. All right, alright guys, so we have the venue here. So I'm going to make the layer the main layer here visible. So we have this venue here this way. Alright, so I'm going to change this to white and see, let's see if we can add a little shadow. Alright, let's see. Yeah, a little shadow. So we have this. I'm going to create the margin so that this also aligns with our margin. Let's see. Okay, so we have this as our venue. I'm going to move this down a little bit. All right, move this down a little bit. Now I'm going to change this, the Apostolic Church Nigeria. I'm going to make it bold. All right, I've explained in one of my tutorials that the reason why is to create hierarchy. All right, so I'm going to change it to bold and I'm going to reduce the size a little bit. It's going out of the margin, so I'm going to work on reducing the size. Let's see how we can achieve that. All right, Now I'm going to create a shape, just a tiny shape like this, change the color to this. I'm going to just create a little bit of demarcation. All right, so I'm going to bring this down like this, take it up. All right, so I'm going to take it up, place it here. I'm going to create my margin and just place it here like this. Yep. Okay, let's see. Yep. All right, so we have something like this, and then I copy this text and then I just write the date and the time. So I'm going to check out the date and the time. All right, so I'm going to write date. All right guys, so this is the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change, remember we copied the text, so this is bold, so I'm going to change this from being a bold text. All right, so I'm going to make use of the normal text style. I'm just going to change the date alone, and the column I'm going to change the date alone to bold, and then I'm going to change the time alone, all right, to bold. And then you have something like this. Now can you see this, guys? Can you see the alignment? All right guys, can you see the alignment? So this is just creating a demarcation. I'm going to check this font. This font is not looking like Montserrat, so I'm going to check. Oh yeah, so we're making use of Montserrat medium. So I've been looking at the font. That's not looking like the Montserrat that I love. Yeah, okay, so this is Montserrat. All right, so let's make use of Montserrat medium. All right, so I'm going to change this also to Montserrat medium. All right, so I think that's Roboto. All right, so I'm going to change this to Montserrat medium. Cool. And then we have something like this. So can you see this, guys? Can you see this, guys? Now let me see. Okay, yeah, okay, all aligned. Yeah, okay. Now let's click on bold. Let's ensure that everything, just the Apostolic Church Nigeria is bold. Yeah, okay. So once you are done with this, you are done with this design in the Pixellab application. All you need to do is to save this as image, all right, save as ultra, all right, and then take this to the Adobe Lightroom application where you begin to do your color grading, you begin to enhance and all that. All right, but that's not for this tutorial. If you want to learn all about the Lightroom application, you can check the video description of this video. You're going to see a link on smartphone photo editing. All right, in that course I discussed how to use the Adobe Lightroom, the Snapseed application, the Pixart application to further enhance your designs and to make your designs pop. All right guys, so if you need the resource file for this design, please, you can check the designers package if you have it. All right, every resource file for this design is in the designers package. All right, and if you don't have it, you can check the video description. All right, you can get the package for 1,000 naira if you're in Nigeria and $1 if you're any part of the world. All right guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial to the end. And also guys, if you want to spice this design, you can decide to take it into the Pixart application, and then you just add your your light effect, your lens flare, as I always do. You can check out my other tutorials. You see how I blend light effects in my designs, so you can further do that to spice your design. All right guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. See you guys in my next video.